me on Instagram. What are you doing? Do that right now. Do it. Link in the description. Yo, I got another banger video, yo. So basically just a little bit of background for this lead I got here. I was trying to change it up a little bit, and I went on the MLS and I went for a expired listing, right? And this was like one of the third people I called. Picked up, said he was very motivated, X, Y, and Z. So I was like, okay, bet. Scheduled a call with him, and this is basically what you're gonna watch. It was a really good call in my opinion. I got to all 4 pillars: motivation, timeline, condition, price, and you'll just see that this just was a really good call. We talked for a while, and notice that I let him talk 95% of the time. He was running his mouth, right? Which is really good, because I got all the information that I could ever need. His motivation was really there. He was just upset with the property, and this is just textbook wholesale deal, you know what I mean? Or actually this is gonna be a sub-2 deal, but this is just a textbook deal, right? So you'll see in the video, he was very upset due to his circumstances of the property. He wanted to get rid of it. His motivation wasn't really in favor of keeping the property. And you'll notice also, as he was talking, he was selling me on the deal. He was selling me on the deal. So I'm just sitting there taking in information, and yeah, let me stop talking, man. Just watch the video, tell me what you think, comment, like, subscribe, all of that, all right? All right, let's get into it.
Hello.
Hey, Thomas?
Yes.
Hey, this is Dorian from yesterday. How are you?
Hello, Dorian. How are you, sir? I have my partner Joe on the line. Would you mind if I conference him in?
Please.
Hold on.
Sure.
Hello, Joe. Hello, Dorian. Hello, Dorian.
Hey, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to meet you, or speak to you at least.
Well, you can see me in your mind.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
I just want you to know I'm very tall, I'm very muscular, good looking, in shape.
awesome.
Right. At least if you're going to, think of me in the best of light.
I got you. That's what I'm doing right now. I have a perfect image of you pictured in my head right now.
Good.
So,
all right.
Thomas was telling...
You also have to go... I'm sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, Thomas was telling me a little bit about the situation that was going on with Con Street. He said that you guys were working together with this property.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, and you were going to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was just going to tell you how, truly benevolent I am and how awesome I am. Just so you can tell your friends, put it out on social media.
I gotcha.
Back to the property just for a second. How interested are you, and what is the nature of your interest?
Yeah, so basically I work for an investor. He buys a bunch of fix and flips and buy and holds. So he has me call around, pretty much ask some questions and see what the condition of the property is, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get that information and go into the back, give it to the guys who run the numbers, and they're going to basically just do what they do, run their comps and stuff, take what they think is the property's going to need, and then they're going to give me a number to come present to you.
Okay.
Sound good?
So what do you need from us?
Awesome. So I just have a couple of questions about the property itself. To my understanding, it's vacant, right? Because Thomas used to live in there?
It is vacant. But if he was still living there, then it would not be vacant. It would be occupied by him.
Awesome. And what were you typically renting that out for?
The rental in the area goes between $1,200 and $1,600 per month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1.5 bath. It's got a basement. It's got a very small little attic. It's got 2 bedrooms. It's got a front yard, a backyard. It's a typical walk-up that you'll have in that area in Norristown. If you're familiar with the area. Where do you come from?
Glenside, but I also I'm familiar with Norristown. I actually go to church up there, so I know the area very well. I have a bunch of family and everything in the area.
Beautiful.
So what's the parking looking like? It's normal, typical street parking?
Street parking.
Awesome. And how many...
The condition of the house is fair. It's going to need a paint job. I'd probably put all new appliances in it.
Okay.
You're fixed up depending on how much you want to rent it for and who you're renting it to. If you're looking to rent it to upper white middle class, you're probably going to have to put $30,000 into it.
Okay.
If you're going to do it to middle class for the blacks that kind of live in the area, the Spanish that live in the area, you might only need $5,000 or $10,000 to fix it up.
Right.
Because after all, it was being rented right at that time. So you have different expectations for different clientele depending on the environment. Now, let me tell you something. Because of COVID and a HUD mortgage and all this that goes into it, we're looking at a price now of $120
Okay.
for the property. Now,
Gotcha.
we listed it at 95. We had a payoff from Rocket Mortgage, which was 84. Because of COVID, they pulled a scam and ended up throwing an $18,900 HUD second mortgage, which is a very bizarre thing. It's got no payments. It doesn't come due till 2050. No one knew it was a mortgage. It was just supposed to be capitalized interest. And now it's in the name of HUD, and HUD won't work with us. Just so you know. Now, the interesting thing is the payment on the FHA for the mortgage, which the payoff figure is 84. It only has it as less than an $800 a month payment.
Okay.
Got that number?
Yes,
Less than an $800 month payment. And the second mortgage doesn't become due and payable until 2050 with no monthly payments.
So it's
Are you with me on this?
It's all due at one time.
Yes, that's called the balloon payment.
Right.
And it's in 2050. 2050, you got that, 2050, right?
Right.
So there is one option here where you can purchase it, but the purchase would have to cover both mortgages. The second option is for $10,000, they can get into the property, have all the rights of ownership, get a quitclaim deed, and then not file the quitclaim deed if they don't want to. They can keep it on the shelf. They can keep it with their lawyer. They can do whatever they want to do. Keep it as a trust deed. I'll explain all that later to your lawyer. But essentially, they can get in, fix the property, and start renting it immediately because we've lost a lot of rent and we're continuing to lose rent.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So they would be able to get control of the property, have all the bundle sticks of owning the property, and have an expense of $800 a month, being able to rent it, and be able to get $1,600 a month. So they'll get $1,000 in positive cash flow,
Right.
essentially.
So like a sub-2 deal.
Now, the thing, do you understand that?
Right.
So basically, depending on how much they want to rent it for, you still have $800 a month that you have to pay for the assumable FHA, but they don't have to assume it. We can work it out with contracts where they have control of the property. They get all the rights, they get all the rental, they get all the profit, they get all the increase in value. And basically, for $10,000, we walk. That's kind of the situation.
Right.
If they're interested in getting control of $120,000 plus a positive income every month of anywhere from $500 and up for an investment of $10,000, that would probably be their better deal if you have a savvy investment person and or portfolio.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But for a lot of people that are not used to 99-year leases, they're not used to trust deeds, they're very new to the game. All they know is to buy and flip, kind of like buying a gallon of milk and then selling a gallon of milk
Right.
and making $1 on it. If that's the only investment strategy they're aware of, this would not really be for them.
Right.
On the other side, if they understand futures and markets and investing in a bigger picture, then what we're doing is we're giving them all the rights to the cow.
Right.
So they can now, instead of buying the cow, they get all the rights to the cow, and they can milk a gallon of milk out of that cow every week,
Awesome.
maybe every day, depending on how much they want to do. This
Right.
is a very good deal for someone who's savvy, knows law, knows the market, and knows real estate. If you guys are not that, then this is probably not for you, because when you look it up, you're going to see that it has an appraisal value between 125 and maybe 130. You don't want to come in with an investment of 120 and then try to milk your money out, because then you're only looking at $500 a month over the next how many years to be able to get your money back out of it.
Correct.
And be able to have an increase in value and be able to put it back on the market for a quick flip.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
That makes 100% sense, Joe.
So, as you can see, I've been doing this a very, very long time. I'm an attorney, 35 years. I'm retired in Florida. That's why I don't want to be involved with it. I don't want to manage it. I don't want to be near it. I don't want to deal with it. It's in Pennsylvania. Don't like Pennsylvania. Hate Pennsylvania. Everything's crazy up there. And it gets cold. I don't want to be there. I'd rather drive around, play golf. Tom's in South Carolina, so he's a motivated seller. He's looking to get away from it. Nobody wants to manage it. It was something that was an ancillary problem or property that got onto another deal, and we took it instead of taking money because we thought we'd get more out of the property as profit.
Right,
and
right.
we did to a certain extent. Does that make sense? So it kind of tied itself into a much bigger deal. And so we made a lot of money on the other bigger deal, but we still ended up with this little piece of property that, you know, when we were in the area and we had offices down the road, when I was still doing practice in Norristown, and I was at the courthouse, not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I'm 1,200 miles away.
Right.
So for me to hire a management company makes no sense. There's not enough money in it to deal with a management company.
Right.
So essentially, we're giving you the opportunity to be managers and owners for a very low investment to walk in.
Of course. Of course. So
does
walk
that make
me.
Sense?
It does, yes.
We had someone who wanted to buy it. We had a deal. It was for $94,000. Everything was good. And then the mortgage company came back to us Friday, and they said, "Hey, did you know you have a second mortgage on this?" We said, "No, we don't. We've only dealt with Rocket. They're the only ones we've dealt with." They're like, "No, HUD has a second mortgage on this." And we contacted HUD. We contacted Rocket. Went through this whole thing. And they said they created a legal fiction for COVID. And that legal fiction was, instead of capitalizing the interest into the present mortgage, Rocket was authorized to take that capitalized interest and turn it into a second mortgage and have the payment go directly to them from HUD. With no payments on the second mortgage for 40 years. 30 years. Can you imagine that?
Right.
With no interest rate for 30 years, with the balloon at 2050. Now, I don't know if you know anything about contracting, but all of this is illegal. So, that being the case, what are we going to do? We're going to litigate against it?
Right.
Over $18,000?
Right.
Are we going to litigate with Rocket over $18,000?
Right. Wouldn't make sense.
Or are we going to try to sell it? If that doesn't work, we'll give an investor a management 99-year lease, purchase, however they want to look at a contract. Or do we just want to give it to Rocket and say, "Okay, guess what? You created this farce. Now we give you the deed."
Right. So
that's kind of where we're at.
How much
for a very savvy investor that has a lot of experience, this is a great deal that you're not going to come across this too often. But for someone who's new in the field, there's someone that is just, we've got a lot of calls. You can tell I'm trying to cut out all the bullshit right from the door.
Of course.
So we've got a lot of calls, got a lot of people, we got a lot of sharks swimming in the water. I know, I'm still a shark. I'm a very big shark, so I'm not really looking for this little stuff. But essentially, for $10,000 buy-in, you get 100% control of the property. And then your monthly outlay is a mortgage of $788 a month or something like that.
Right.
You go in, you give it a coat of paint. I wouldn't do a lot because it's Norristown, just so you know that. I would rent it quick, probably for $1,200 to $1,300 a month, and just immediately start getting positive cash flow. That's what I would do.
Right.
And then you'll get your money paid back very quickly. And because of the contract, you would get 100% of the increase in value. Now, the benefit of this is that the HUD mortgage, that's a balloon mortgage for 2050, doesn't trigger.
Okay.
So it doesn't exist until 2050.
Till 2050. And what is the amount of that again?
$18,934.11.
$18,949.
34.11, give or take a quarter of a penny.
Right. Okay.
So basically, say 19,000.
Right. Basically. Okay.
You want to make it easier? Say 20,000.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't come due until 2050.
Right.
And there's no payments per month, and there's no interest.
Right. Just a balloon.
Is this a balloon? How old are you, sir?
Me? I am 23.
All right. Well, in 30 years, God willing, you're going to still be alive. But the rest of us that have retired, we look at 30 years like we're not going to be here that long.
Gotcha.
We look at the day saying, all right, how many days do I have left?
Gotcha.
I'm 49. I'll be lucky to see that 30.
There you go, Thomas.
You know what I mean? So we have a different view on that number. For
Right.
you, it might seem like it's out there. Now, let me explain something you probably already know, but because you're young, I'm just going to put it out there. In 30 years, what happens to the price of properties?
It increases. You get appreciation.
And how much do they normally appreciate?
That I'm not too sure.
Did your mom and dad have a house?
Yep.
Do they have a house?
Yes, they do.
How much do they buy the house for?
I believe $320. I'm not too sure.
And how long ago was that?
About 20 years ago.
How much is that house worth now?
Probably in the upper 4s, lower 5s.
So from your own experience, the house doubled in 20 years.
Exactly.
So if you sit on this property and you pay the mortgage and do all that, not only do you get a positive cash flow of $500 every month or more, but by the time that comes due, the property will double in value. It'll be worth $250,000.
Right. Sounds great.
You get it?
That sounds great.
Do you understand the numbers?
Of course. They make sense. Are you...
Now, you have to explain this to your investor or get them on the phone with me. But this is a rare opportunity. If you're interested in it, we can make it happen at your convenience.
Okay.
And if you're not, that's okay too, because it's going to work out for us. I plan to give this another week or two of harvesting the numbers and talking to people and laying it out. And if something doesn't come together very easily, and I mean easily, then we'll just give it back to the mortgage company and be like, screw you guys.
Right.
Take it, have fun with it, kiss my ass.
Right. Gotcha.
And that's that.
I like your attitude there,
For
Thomas.
someone who's young like yourself, this is a good deal.
I like your attitude there,
You're
Joe.
going to live 30 years.
Yep.
You understand?
Of course. It makes sense. Now...
So you can double your money on it and be able to have a very strong contract. And we'll work whatever lawyer you want us to work with. And you know what? Like, we'll make sure that it's tight. I've done law for a long time. I know what needs to be done. I've done these before. I come from the city. I come from New York. So we have a lot of these type of deals with apartment buildings.
Awesome. Awesome.
Does that make sense?
That does, yes.
So that's why I'm familiar with all this. So, Darian, ask me any question you want. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so you pretty much gave it all to me. I just want to get back to the condition, basically. So you said that you put some work into it. How's the roof looking on that?
Roof is okay. You should get another 5 years out of it.
Okay, awesome. And as far as the AC and the heating, is that electric?
Yes. I don't know. I've never lived there, but I think the answer is yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's a window. It's electric heat and window air conditioners. It's not central. It's not central AC.
Not central? Okay. All right.
Do you see all the other houses on the block?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
It's in substantially the same condition as all the other houses on the block. Now, if you go online, you can go online right now, and there is a listing for the property that has pictures of it inside.
Great.
And you can see everything that's in here. Just, complete transparency. We're not hiding the ball. We want you to see everything. And that broker, she falls off at the end of the week. So she's only alive in this world until the 20th, which is next week, the 20th.
Wow.
And then her contract expires.
Right.
But she has not been able to overcome this.
Right.
And bring us a buyer. And the buyer she brought didn't want to address the second mortgage, which it was a note, and then all of a sudden it became a second mortgage. They're calling it, ready for this, a partial claim mortgage.
Wow.
I'm like, what is a partial claim? Ready for this? An unsigned partial claim mortgage. An unsigned partial claim mortgage where no money exchanged hands.
Wow.
An unsigned partial claim mortgage where the money that allegedly was consideration was given to someone else without any authority, to give that to someone else. Are you starting to see the problem with this piece of crap?
Yes. It's very clear.
Oh, and they changed servicing agencies from HUD itself to a third-party servicing agency out of the General Services Administration somewhere in the Midwest in a building that doesn't have any signage on it and no contact information.
Yeah.
No phone number, no anything.
It's not a good look there.
Now, it's basically they created a fantasy for COVID money.
Right.
And they got their hands on billions of dollars in COVID money. I get it.
Wow.
I'm on the wrong end of that deal, that's all. If I was on the other end of the deal and someone said, listen, your mortgage people are not paying the mortgages, you're not getting the money, I'll give you $100 billion, and we're just going to bring everybody up to what it is. Like, they're just not going to pay. We're going to give you $100 billion.
Right.
And that's going to solve the problem. Do you want to do that?
I'm in.
I'd say yes. Would you say yes?
Of course.
Like, so I'm not mad at them. It's just a slimy thing they did in business.
Right.
That shit happens. Business is business. Unfortunately, I don't do business that way, so it's not palatable to me. You
Right.
understand?
That makes sense. That makes sense, Joe.
Well, as someone with whom they contracted, if they do not provide some type of provision to easily unwind the fiction that they spun, and I've explained it to you very clearly, hopefully you were able to take something from this and you'll be able to give it to your people. If your people are interested, call us back. If they're not interested, that's okay too. It was great to speak to you, and hopefully you got a little education you didn't have before you got on the phone with me.
No, I got everything I need, actually, Joe. You gave me a lot and more. I have ample information to give back to my boss here. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to speak with him, actually give him this information, and then he's going to let me know if we're able to move forward with that or not. So back to how soon you want to get this done. If we're able to come to an agreement, are you ready to get this one moved?
Yeah, we'll do it today.
Okay, so ASAP.
You know, we own it, so we can do anything we want.
Awesome. Okay. All right, that's all I need to know. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to go talk to him, and then I'll give you guys a call back either later on today or tomorrow. Does that sound okay?
Make it tomorrow. We've got a doctor's appointment this afternoon with a urologist, so we got to go there and talk to the urologist. So
okay.
Call us tomorrow.
You want to do tomorrow at 2 again?
Good, man. Listen, anytime you want. Let me just look at my calendar, but I think 2 o'clock will be fine tomorrow. Tomorrow I have an electrician coming and a cleaning lady, so yeah, this is fine. You can get a hold of me anytime after 11 in the morning because I don't get up till 10.
All right, sounds good.
All right, listen, yes, Darian, thank you so much. You be well.
Yes, sir. You too, Joe. Goodbye.
All right, bye.
You still here, Thomas?
Yeah, Dorian. I was going to say, do you have an email address? I can send you the listing as well as I can send you images of the property.
Yeah, please. It's going to be.
Got it. I will send you images of the interior. They were cleaning it out, so you'll see bags of stuff.
Okay.
And you'll see the door open, but that's because all of that's coming out.
Awesome. Awesome, Thomas. I appreciate you for your time, man. Thank you for this.
Hey, no worries. I heard you were 23. Joe, like I said, Joe's been doing nothing but property law for 30 years.
Wow.
So to make the deal work, he can do the paperwork, and I'm his technology guy. So he'll do anything I say. Basically, he's my lawyer. He's my lawyer. I'm his nerd.
Awesome.
I run all his communication tech. I run his mobile. I run his data storage. I run all of that. His website. His Kindle publishing direct business. I do all of that for him.
Awesome.
So, I'm racked up with him a couple thousand hours, so he can, whatever it takes to do the paperwork for the deal, he can do it, and it's legally binding. He's registered in 3 states. So.
Awesome. All right, let's see what we can do then, Thomas. I'll be reaching out tomorrow, like I said, around 2, and I have your phone number, so if anything comes up, I'll just shoot you a text or give you a call, okay?
Fantastic, Dorian.
Awesome, Thomas. You enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Yep, look forward to my email before the end of the day. Thank you.
Alrighty, goodbye. Alright, so Woo, that Joe guy was a character. He was a character for sure. You can see that there's a lot of motivation here. I think there's a lot going on with the property. Obviously, he doesn't have to get it going as he says, but he wants to get it going. So he needs to get it going ASAP. He's ready to make a move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my guy Johnny. You know, he's a sub-2 beast. So I'm going to go ahead and show him this video that I actually have here. And then we're going to connect together and see what we can do, if it's a deal, if it's not, and hop on the phone with them, with Johnny if I need to, and just go from there. Hopefully we can turn this into something. And yeah, so keep you updated.
Good, man.
Yo, bruh, yo, opportunity here.
So when is this guy ready to hop on the call? 'Cause it would be so cool if we could three-way.
Yeah.
And try to get him under contract.
Yeah, for sure. So I already told him I wanted to try to get him on the phone later on today because I just want to just get this done. I knew we were gonna hop on the phone, and I knew you were gonna hopefully be excited, which you are, but he has to take care of, so we're gonna hop on the phone tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Awesome. Can I tag onto that call?
Bro, what? Of course. I told him that I'm gonna call back with my partner, so I was really hoping that you would hop on the call with me. You know what I mean? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, let's do that for sure.
Yo, tell me that wasn't a good video. I'll wait. Tell me that wasn't a good video. Come on. So basically at the end you saw I talked to my friend Johnny there. We're pretty much getting on a call together at some point, and we're gonna talk to the seller and basically format this sub-2 deal, and hopefully we can get it closed. I think this could be a good deal, you know? And plus I get sub-2 experience, so I'm really excited for this. Johnny's the GOAT. Make sure you guys go follow his YouTube. I'm just gonna throw that in the description also, and on the screen right here. Great guy. So yeah, fingers crossed, God willing, let's make this deal happen. And yeah, wish me luck. Have a blessed day, have a blessed week, stay productive.